What's up, everybody? Today I'm here to talk about the prequels. Everyone loves to make fun of the prequels, especially because they did not live up to the standards of the originals. But let me tell you one thing. The originals is what sparked the magic to begin with. It was in '77 that we were introduced to this fantastic universe with new and fresh characters, with innovating visuals, and with a story that was truly heartfelt. The movie was the perfect escapism, and truthfully, nothing can be compared to the originals. That said, I have a huge respect for George Lucas. I've always had, because he's the genius behind it all. It was because of him that we got this fantastic world called Star Wars. Now here is the question. Do I hate the prequels? No. I don't hate the prequels. I never hated the prequels. Obviously, they were nothing close to the originals, but I was able to overlook the awful CGI and even that annoying character, Jar Jar Binks, because I was connected to the story. To me, even though there weren't perfect films, it still felt like Star Wars and I was able to connect to it. And now I'm gonna share with you 10 things that I liked about the prequels, because I thought they got a few things right. Number one, the fighting. Oh my gosh, we got to see the Jedis in action. Choreography and fighting and so many lightsaber fights. I thought that was super entertaining. After all, lightsabers is one of the best things in Star Wars. So I thought the prequels did a good job in showing the Jedi fighting styles. We had plenty of it. One of the things that we hear a lot on the originals is the Jedi and the Clone Wars and all these things that these powerful masters used to be. So to me, to get to see the Jedi in action, it was super cool. So that's one of the things that I enjoyed about the prequels. That leads also to my second thing that I really enjoyed about the prequels, which is to see the world of the Jedi. We not only got to see the Jedi in action, but we also got to see the Jedi Council, the Jedi Temple. We got to see like their training. We got to learn a little bit more about their philosophy and their way of living. We got to learn their role in maintaining peace in the galaxy. We also learned exciting different colors of lightsabers. You know, Master Windu, for instance, has a purple lightsaber. And we also got to learn about the downfall of the Jedi when Palpatine executes Order 66. Now that leads also to the third thing that I really enjoyed watching in the prequels, and that is Palpatine. Wow, wasn't this character fascinating to watch? His incredible patience and intelligent scheme to take control fooled even the Jedi, who was supposed to protect the galaxy. His manipulation of Anakin Skywalker was so thought out. He was smart enough to take advantage of Anakin's fear and persuade him to the dark side. I was always very intrigued by the Emperor, and I really enjoyed learning a little bit about his background, how he actually built the entire empire with the help of Anakin Skywalker. Truly a plan of evil genius. Did you ever hear the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise? Number 4, Padmé. I loved learning about Luke and Leia's mom. I thought she was a strong female character who was not only a queen at the age of 14, but after she also became a senator. I believe she would have been very proud of how Leia and Luke turned out. And you know what? I don't think she died of a broken heart. I think it was Palpatine. I might be wrong. I think it was Palpatine because that way he would have full control over manipulating Darth Vader, because he would also have his full attention now that she's out of the picture. Number 5 is Anakin Skywalker.
What?
I loved learning about his origin story. I love this character. I wish he was introduced more as a teenager and not as a boy, but for some reason George Lucas had that in mind. He wanted to introduce him as a child, and I don't have any problem with it, but I would have preferred to see him as a teenager. But even though he was introduced as a child, I thought that it was very interesting to learn how he actually becomes Darth Vader. And the fond memory I also have of the prequels is when I was watching with my dad, he said, that little boy is Darth Vader. And I was having an argument with him saying, there's no way that's Darth Vader. And he was like, yes, that little boy is Darth Vader. And it took me a while to believe that that was Darth Vader. I thought it was very interesting to learn about his origin story. More in particular, to learn about his fear of losing those that are close to him, and also to learn about his weak points. he's arrogant and he has a lust for power, which ultimately led him to his downfall. I thought that his fight with Obi-Wan in the Revenge of the Sith was truly heartbreaking. His mind was just so corrupted that he failed to choose the right path and turned against his friend and his own wife. I really enjoyed when Obi-Wan turns to him and say, "You were my brother, Anakin. You were supposed to destroy the Sith, not join him." Yeah, that phrase always got to me, and I was very connected to the character. So yeah, that's one of the things that I like about the prequels. That also leads to number 6, which is Obi-Wan Kenobi. How awesome was to see the younger version of Obi-Wan Kenobi. He was really the right cast, and he was one of the best things in the prequel. You know, I love that we got to see him being a Padawan, becoming a master himself. The other thing that I thought it was really cool was that Obi-Wan has always this sense of authority, and that was also portrayed in the prequels through the performance of Ewan McGregor. I absolutely love his relationship with Anakin, and how like they would bicker at each other and be really friends and save each other's life. I thought Obi-Wan was a great role model to Anakin, and it was truly sad to me when he turned against him. But one of the things that Obi-Wan failed to do is to spot the darkness in Anakin and reach out to him in time. Maybe if he had noticed that earlier, things could have been turned around. But again, then we wouldn't have Darth Vader. So yeah, I guess things had to go the way they went. And I also thought that, oh my god, that fight that he has at the 3rd episode with Anakin Skywalker, where they use the Force and then lightsaber and then the Force, the lightsaber, that really got me excited. I remember I was like, yeah! I had the time of my life watching that scene. So that's another reason why I have fond memories of the prequels. Number 7, the other thing I really enjoyed in the prequels is the soundtrack. When you think John Williams can come up with something new, he always surprises us. I thought that the music and the score involving voices as well as the Star Wars themes that we're so used to, it was pretty cool. It really added to the action scenes. Obviously, he's a master on what he does, and even though the visuals of the prequels are not very good, so there's too much CGI, so I didn't think that visually the movie is not very beautiful. One of the things that I love about the originals is the practical effects, so I think that really was the worst part in the prequels. However, the music really got me connected to the action scenes. Number 8, Master Yoda. I loved watching Yoda in the prequels. What do we know about Yoda in the original is that he's a great actor. He plays this persona in front of Luke where he's being all kind of a fool old man. But he's nothing like that. He's actually a true Master Jedi. But we just got to see a little bit of that. And I loved that in the prequels, we actually got to meet the real Yoda and how he used to be in the time of the Jedi. I had loads of fun watching Yoda in his lightsaber fights. I used to play that with my brothers at home as well, because even though sometimes it looked a little bit silly with the whole flipping and thing, I still thought, wow, it's Master Yoda with a lightsaber. That is just so cool. All the Jedi, they have different fighting style, and I thought it was so fun to watch Master Yoda fighting style. Obviously, he's so small that how is he gonna use the lightsaber if he's not doing the flips? So I thought that was unexpected, and I really had fun watching that. And the other thing that I thought it was cool is that we get to learn how he ends up in Dagobah's system. Number 9, Padme and Anakin, because I thought, I'm a romantic, okay? Don't blame me. Even though the acting was not very solid, especially on the 2nd episode, by the 3rd I think it was a little bit better. But I still thought the story itself was very compelling. I love how they got involved. And I think it was kind of poetic how he went against the Jedi and fell in love with Padme, which is against the Jedi code. That also led me to another question, which is how stupid could the Jedi be? Have a young, unstable, handsome Jedi watch over a beautiful queen. I mean, how could they not see them getting involved? That always blew my mind. How could no one figure it out that those two are gonna get together? Come on, everyone could have seen that coming. This was definitely a recipe for disaster. But I don't know, sometimes I like to think that the Force blinded the Jedi so they could actually allow Anakin and Padme to fall in love, because we needed to have Luke and Leia. So again, putting the lame love scenes apart and the terrible dialogue, I still think that the story itself, it's very compelling. So I enjoyed that. And finally, number 10, Vader is born. My gosh, I got chills when I saw him back on screen. Of course, forget about the no. That was definitely a little bit silly. But Darth Vader is just the coolest villain ever. I really appreciated seeing him back on screen. I was deeply moved by his fall to the dark side, and I understood his reasoning. Even though I don't agree, I still understand the reasons why he decided to, fall to the dark side. He was such an easy target to Palpatine, and I think that the Jedi failed miserably in reaching out to Anakin in time and help him, Anyways, again, we needed to have Vader, so that was gonna happen regardless. But I was definitely very moved. I really enjoyed episode 3. It really got to me, when he was falling down on his knees and pledging his allegiance to that evil emperor. I could, even though it filled my heart, my eyes with tears. I was like, I can't believe that he's doing that. What an idiot. At the same time, he wasn't very honest about his life. He was scared on how the Jedi would treat him, so he turned to the wrong person to advise. How sad. So these are the reasons why I did not hate the prequels. These are the reasons that I actually go back and watch them. I don't think that they were masterpiece, but I think they were necessary to the story, because I really wanted to know about how Darth Vader became Darth Vader. I really wanted to know and learn about the Jedi and the training and Obi-Wan and the Clone Wars. I wanted to know all of that. So I believe that the prequels served the purpose. The only thing that I think they failed miserably was too much CGI. The direction of the actors were not very good, so sometimes the acting was not very solid. But I think that has more to do with the direction and the blocking of the actors than it is with the actors themselves, because Natalie Portman is a good actress, and I've seen other works of Hayden and I didn't think he was bad, and it had more to do with the directing of the actors than it had to do with the actors themselves. And we also had Jar Jar, which was an annoying character for the most part, but you know what? I'll take Jar Jar over a rose tickle and purple hair anytime. So that's it, guys. This is the end of my video. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Star Wars was the perfect escapism. Star Wars was the perfect escapism. First time we got to see good job in showing the fight and all the Jedi. Oh, Jesus. No, this is the last one. I drink water. The movie was the perfect escapism.